Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Massive Verse Live here on a Monday night, March 9th, 2026, which still feels like 2025, which still felt like 2024 and 2023. You see where I'm going with this. The one cool thing, though, about it officially being 2026 is that means we are actually celebrating the 5-year anniversary of Radiant Black right now. So we've been around for 5 years, and we are going to get into it tonight. It's been a minute. I'm going to tell everybody about what's been going on, what we've been crazy busy with. One of those things was our epic 5-year anniversary Radiant Black party that we threw with the fine folks over at Revenge of, which also feature all these super cool little radiant lights that we did with QR codes and a whole existence blacklight experience. But we'll get into that in a little bit. How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. And like I said, sorry, I know it's just my focus what we're going here. I know it's been a little while since we've done one of these. Anybody got anything fun throw in the chat tonight as we're kicking off? How's everybody's Monday going? I want to hear the highlights. So tonight, it's gonna be just me. Michael is probably gonna show up in chat in a little bit here, but hopefully he has gone to see the doctor as he promised me he was going to do, because apparently, as Matt Groom put it, Michael may not be evolutionarily equipped for travel. So he's rather sick now. He made it through the party, all of the prep for it, which was incredible. I mean, he did an amazing job along with Kelly McMahon, Melissa Flores, Sandra Wynn, and Michael Nye, all dear friends of mine. Kelly's my partner, obviously, as well. Putting together the party and our whole blacklight experience and everything. And then pretty much the next day, Michael's body just like promptly shut down. And so, we really appreciate him flying all the way out here. It was a little short notice, actually, the way that we did it. So, which makes it even all the cooler that he was able to make it for the party. It was also important to me that he be there for it, because 5 years, to Michael and myself, it feels like 10, and probably Marcelo and Eduardo as well. But none of this would be possible, what we do on a regular basis, without Michael. And since he's not here and I don't see him in the chat yet, that means that he can't tell me to stop talking about him and saying positive things. So I'm just gonna just take that opportunity and enjoy it here. The ODPH podcast guys saying get well soon, Michael. Thanks, guys. Nice to hear from you. Sorry, I keep trying to adjust my focus. My arm's just not quite long enough to set it at the right distance that I'm actually sitting. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Bunch of get well soons. We're gonna throw these all up on screen for posterity's sake, and maybe if we do a clip of this or something, it'll be the get well soon Michael segment. I still need to order the second massive edition. I want to get the standard cover. That's from Maka. Yeah, we've actually got some pretty cool updates on our massive editions for Radiant Black. We'll get into that again tonight as well. But what do we want to specifically talk about here? So we're going to go through the Radiant Black 5-year anniversary party. I've got some really cool videos that I want to showcase and show off. It'll be like you were there, unless you were there, in which case you'll remember being there when you see them. I also want to spend some time talking about the Radiant Black audiobook. We also have this really cool new thing that we just launched actually yesterday/today in the Black Market newsletter called Black Market Presents. It's not specifically Massiveverse, although there might be some Massiveverse things that kind of like sneak in there from time to time, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's a platform for new creators as we are looking to showcase and curate some voices that we're excited about. for doing like new Vertical Scroll comics and original stuff. And then we're also going to talk about some of our big releases that have been coming out here. So we've got our Radiant Black and White issue #1 that hit stands, Radiant Black #40, Rogue Sun 33, which is out this week. And also out this week, our killer massive edition book 2 hardcover for Radiant Black, which brings up a limited edition exclusive that we just dropped today through the newsletter. And we'll talk about that, and I'll show it off because there are still some copies left if you are available. Let's see. Let's start off. Actually, the newsletter is a pretty good place to start off because a bunch of the stuff that I'm going to showcase tonight, I've put some of it in the newsletter, some of the photos, so we'll walk through some of that. Actually, let me see here. I think I can make a banner. Yeah, so if you go to newsletter blackmarket.la. So newsletter.blackmarket.la, that's where you can go to subscribe to the Black Market narrative newsletter. That's where we do all of our updates on not only the books, but a whole host of the multimedia projects that we do, you know, a number of which are certainly connected to the Massiverse, but then we also have other things like this Black Market Presents that we're going to talk about tonight that are wholly original and separate from the Massiverse. They're just, you know, I'm into things other than superheroes. Who would have thought? Okay, so let me just go back here to our comments. And am I sounding okay, everybody? Everybody can hear me all right? We actually switched back to StreamYard for our live streams. It was just so cumbersome trying to make everything work with Riverside Live in order to also, you know, do some clips and stuff like that. And so it's just like, I know StreamYard, it sounds good, it looks good. I can also fire it up 5 minutes before stream, which is unfortunately usually what happens when we do these, just with the amount of stuff that Michael and I are juggling on a not only day-to-day basis, but sometimes hour-to-hour basis. So that's also why there's been some pause in some of the Massiverse lives, just because it's like, well, if we could fire it up and just go right now, we'd be good, or with like 15 minutes prep. But sometimes there have been technical stuff we've had to sort out along the way. So really happy that it's sounding, as Radiant Platinum says, crisp and clean tonight. So let's hope that that is the new standard here. Okay, so what do I want to hit? Let's start with the party. And I've got some cool content that I want to show off. Do you guys want to see video first, or do you want to see photos from the 5-year anniversary Radiant Black party? Just throw it in the chat, and we'll see what we want to start with here. I've got both prepped. Okay. All right, we want to see some videos? All right, we can start with some videos. So the first thing I'll bring up here is actually, I'm going to share screen to do this. Let's see here. Allow that. Window. Where would I do this at? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So this is our, actually, I'll do it like that. So this is our Black Market newsletter here, and we actually put out a post. I put out a post a few days ago going through the party, which you can see. I know we said video, but just to tee it up, you can see what some of this awesomeness looked like in person. But I cut this video that we did not put on YouTube. It's specifically for our newsletter subscribers. Again, the newsletter is free. Highly recommend you sign up for it if you're not already. But let's go ahead and take a look at this.
And then out there is the bar.
Rewind that for everybody. So I just cut this real quick from some B-roll we shot. I shot some of this, and then shout out to Jenkins, Peeler, and Michael Nye. Michael's my normal cinematographer for all of pretty much everything. The Shattered Grid, the Shadow Hours, and I don't know if we've done anything Radiant Black yet together, but we will. He's shooting the No One movie for us as well.
And walk through this, and then out there is the bar and just like hang area, lots of like heaters and stuff.
Okay. So I'm filming you for the documentary no one cares about.
Please, please.
This is actually the 5-year anniversary of Radiant Black that we're celebrating here. Thank you. So we are up to issue 40, but we've done more than that because of Callous War. Yeah. But it's something that's been a long time in the making for me, arguably kind of like my whole career.
So there you go. Really, really, really awesome evening. The day before, we actually painted the entire Blacklight experience ourselves. So Kelly really art directed that along with Michael. I think I've got a bunch of behind the scenes photos of that I can pull up here. But actually, you know what? Before we go to any photos and talk about the painting and all that stuff, got one more video from the night. This is from the account Hawkalees, who we actually talked at the party, and he reminded me we actually did an interview together just around the time that Radiant Black was coming out. So that was an awesome kind of reconnection moment. And then he put this together, which was pretty sick. I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right thing here. All right, here we go. We'll do it like this.
Does anyone ever come with me to the Radiant Black 5-year anniversary party at Revenge of Comic Shop in Eagle Rock, California?
It's not working, huh? All right, hold on. Let me take that one more time. Hold on.
Come with me to the Radiant Black.
1 second here. All right, I should have it now. We'll do, how about that version? All right, we ready? Let's try it again.
Come with me to the Radiant Black 5-year anniversary party at Revenge of Comic Shop in Eagle Rock, California. Kyle Higgins and his team had an amazing setup with cutouts of all the Radiants spread out throughout the venue. We got a chance to grab some comics and get them signed by the creator of Radiant Black, Kyle Higgins himself, and Radiant Black editor Michael Busuttil. They have this amazing blacklight museum of panels from the comics throughout the years that was too incredible to put into words, so I'm just gonna let this video speak for itself.
You made it look cool. I mean, it was pretty cool, I gotta say.
We went inside to check out Revenge of, which turns out is a pretty sick comic and game shop. Have this Radiant Black mixed drink menu. Me and the boys got them all. I got Radiant Pink. It was pretty good.
I've been a comic book fan my whole life, so yes, of course I wanted to do that.
And then we were treated to a Q&A with Kyle and Mr. Ron-stoppable Will Friedle, who plays Marshall in the upcoming Radiant Black audiobook. All in all, it was a pretty fun night with the boys. Happy 5-year anniversary, Radiant Black. Come with me.
Thank you. Thank you again. Shout out to Hawkalees, who posted that on his YouTube channel. I believe the channel is just at Hawkalees, HAWKILLES. So yeah, it was a really special night. It was a really special night. There was a lot of stress going on beforehand and then afterwards. Everything from, like I said, we painted everything ourselves. Jeff Iser, who's one of the amazing owners of Revenge of, is a production designer. I mean, the store is owned by a collection of, I don't know if it's a collection of production designers, but FTP is the name of the company, and they do a ton of set building in Hollywood, and so they do all their own fabrication for the parties. We were fortunate enough to throw the Moonman launch party back in 2022 there, and so for Radiant Black, we talked about what kind of experience we wanted to try to build, especially piggybacking off of what we had done with Moonman. And then earlier this year they threw an amazing party for Exquisite Corpses, James Tynion's new book, with is it Michael Walsh? I think it's Michael Walsh. Can someone correct me? Who draws Exquisite Corpses? Or no, it's Dylan. That's gonna bother me. Corpses. Exquisite Corpses is Michael Walsh. Okay, should have trusted my gut. They threw an amazing party for the Exquisite Corpses launch. So it didn't really faze Jeff when I said I really want to do something in blacklight, and we'd like to put this together as a something for that was timed around the audiobook too. So what I mean by that and why it was important was because the cosmic ambience that we built for existence for the party is actually the same ambience that I designed for the audiobook. I actually made the ambience for the party as well. And Damien Poitier, who is kind enough to voice our Black Colossal, or I think it's credited as Colossal Black, because I think once Damien saw the credits, he texted me and he said, "From henceforth on, I will only be known as Colossal Black." Damien recorded some new lines during a pickup session for the audiobook, and they were specifically giving instruction to party attendees on what they should be looking for at the party, and especially inside existence. That became, like I said, these little radiant lights with QR codes, and when you scan the QR code, it took you to a twine that Michael actually coded that is like a kind of a personality test, as if you're syncing to the radiant, and depending on how you answer the questions in real time, you sync with one of our 4 radiants, the black radiant, or I guess blue, red, yellow, or pink. That then unlocked which exclusive Tom Whalen print you got at the party. So again, trying to have some fun with the experience of it all. And I gotta say, it went over really well. I mean, it was also really fun that actually I've got some photos here. Let me pull these up while I'm talking about it. These are actually from I want to give a nice shout out to Matt Eaton is the photographer, I believe, who shot all these. He, I believe, is also Tristan Eaton's brother. Tristan is a very, very accomplished mural artist in LA who was kind enough to do a Radiant Black, or a Moonman, actually, variant cover for us for the store exclusive when we actually initially launched Moonman issue 1. So we'll go through some of this. You can see really good example of like, actually maybe I should go the other way, huh? Show the picture and make me smaller. What do we think? Yeah, there we go. We'll get the good stuff up on screen. So the whole experience, I mean, that's where they had a signing. Like, you can see it inside the blacklight kind of space itself, was really, really cool. And it also meant that when I did my secret fluorescent signatures, I could actually, for the first time, like literally ever, I could actually see them, which was very novel. I didn't have to have my flashlight out or anything like that. All right. Go through some photos here. We also did an 8-foot tall wooden cutout of, as you can see here, the giant Colossal and a little tiny naked Nathan. And all of those fluorescent colors you see on there is what we were painting the day before. So we painted on top of the giant, you know, whatever that is, 15-foot tall, you know, prints that they put up on the walls, and then the triangle structure that they put in the center of the room, which you can see there, the flats. And so Kelly and Michael actually advocated for a single color per panel side here to really like just create a something that felt like a more coherent visual experience. And as you walk around it, it's a different color that you're seeing on each side. So the flow of it ends up being really cool. It's a good shot of that. Let me find it here. There we go. That's a really good one. So Michael, the two Michaels took this wall, Michael Nye and Michael Busuttil. And I think if either of them never saw fluorescent magenta again in their life, they would be fine with that. There was so much intricate magenta wall. This was my wall with Melissa and Sandra. And this one's tough to see on stream, but there's a lot of like speckled yellow that is on the top of all this cool like fluorescent blue that we did. And there's a lot of dry brushing I did on this one. From Radiant Platinum, imagine getting hammered and actually thinking you got transported to existence. I'm striving to, man, every day. That's my hope. Could I just get to existence? Okay. What else do we got here? There we go. More shots of the party space. That's Jeff on the left there. One of the owners of Revenge of. And as I said, one of the great production designer. One of our little radiant lights we're setting up. Oh, there she is. That's Kelly. Kelly and me. Ahead of time. And this was us walking through the place before the craziness started, just to see how everything came together. The ambience track was playing at this moment. It was definitely a vibe. And then like every 8 minutes, the robot spoke to you, which I could dig up that audio file. I do have it here. Maybe I can play that on stream a little bit too, just to give you a taste of it. Okay, let's see if we can get to more of the... Oh, I love that shot. Some of the line for Michael, really. I was just there. It's pretty cool, right? Actually, let's get some... Maybe get some cool music going in the background here. What do you think? Some lo-fis. We're going through photos from trippy blacklight experience. This was, I think, Michael's first time working with fluorescent Sharpies, which was very cute. Very cute indeed. He got into it. There we go. I got a couple hardcovers at the party, and so I did a little version of the cool fluorescent remark that we like to do on them. There we go. Mason says, too bad Marvel and DC can't promote their books like this. You know, it's so funny you say that, Mason, because a little piece of news that came out the day before this party is that I'm actually going back to DC, and actually Marcelo and I are going to work with Daniele De Nicolo on a big brand new version of the Teen Titans. And some of the conversations I've had with DC Digital already about the ways that I would love to, in a perfect world, promote this series, they've been quite amenable to, in a way that I was pretty surprised by, to be honest, because when I was there really 10 years ago, actually longer probably is when I started, it wasn't quite like that. So so stay tuned. You might start to see, I mean, I'm not talking about like a full blacklight experience for Teen Titans, but I am talking about some of the types of social things and audio and stuff that we do in the Massiverse and black market narrative. Like, don't be surprised if you start to see a little bit of that stuff coming out tied to our upcoming Teen Titans book. Sorry, guys, there's a lot of shots of signing. There's Michael, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Okay. Actually, a question from Maka. I'm so curious for your Teen Titans run. Was it your idea to include Red Hood, or was that an editor decision? No, it was not an editor decision. It's all about story. So we have a really, really cool story that we are building here, and the generational divide between Red Hood and these younger teens is the crux of it. Very much in a way that I think, I mean, I just turned 40. I'm not saying, Jason's obviously not 40, but you know, he has a little bit of older energy, and I think that the contrast between those two and the need to not only work together but also to learn from each other is really at the kind of core of this series. There's a little bit, my editor Brittany Holzhauer has been comping it very cheekily to you know, Jason's Gordon Bombay from the Mighty Ducks in this. I promise you that's not the tone of the book, but it makes me laugh every time she says it, because the spirit of it is true in that, you know, I don't want to spend too much, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole on Teen Titans here, because you'll be hearing more from me about it in the not too distant future. But it's going to be a cool book. It's going to be a really cool book. All right. There we go. Anyway, so that gives you a nice little taste of the party life. Okay. So we'll wind down this. As much as I love the lo-fi, I've only got one AirPod in, so it's unbalanced for me. Okay, what else do we have here? So as I said, party. Killer time, tons and tons of prep work ahead of time, totally worth it. But the other thing that was going on behind the scenes around the time of not just planning the party, but then actually, you know, launching the party was trying to get the Radiant Black audiobook in shape to launch. And that, as some of you who may or may not know, if you pre-ordered the book or you were following the release date schedule, like you might know, like it took me a few more days than I wanted it to. It was originally supposed to come out on February 10th, and I just needed a bit more time. The reason for that really is that I did it all myself. I mean, I did a hour and 40-minute audiobook with full, I don't know if I'd say feature level sound design, but definitely more than run of the mill, a sound effect here or there, and maybe some tone music. I mean, we kind of went all out on it. 30 actors voicing these characters. Oh my, everyone's looking everyone's looking at the cat. So that's Pierre. He's the star of every show. And he has heard Kelly just got home, so he heard her pulling up and decided to make himself seen. We're more invested in the cat now. Oops. Where was that? We're more invested in the cat now, says Ball Nubby. I know everyone who meets us is more invested in the cat. Honestly, we have friends coming over, and I think they are only coming over to see the cat tonight. Okay. There we go. Hey, Kelly, you can wave. You're on camera. Okay. We've got a super chat from Common Sense here. Will Reiser, Doomsday, and Generation Outlaws will be in Red Hood's... Oh, will Reiser and Generation Outlaws be in Red Hood and the new Teen Titans? Reiser and Robot Man are on the cover of DCKO #1. I can't talk about stuff like that yet. It's just a little too early. But as far as like, I just don't want to go into the book too much yet. But I can say that right now, no, those characters are not in the book. Okay. All right. What were we talking about? Oh, the audiobook. Yes. So it took me a little longer than I had preferred, but I think it came together pretty awesome, if I'm being honest. I don't know how many people here tonight have heard it already or picked it up, but if you haven't checked it out yet, well, now is a perfect time. There will be a link in the show notes. I actually think that our Black Market shop is connected to our YouTube now, so it should be actually not sponsoring the video, but I think the product listing for it is actually attached to the video, so you could click on it there. But I wanted to show off for everybody kind of what this looks like. So we'll go back to... Where is it? There we go. Okay. So this is our Radiant Black, the audiobook website that Michael set up for us. If you just go to radiant.black/audiobook. Let's see here. Radiant.black/audiobook. Right now, it is it's just available from us, DRM free. If you, in two different versions, the deluxe edition and the standard edition. If you click here, this is what the standard edition looks like. So it's a chaptered M4B audiobook file. It also includes an MP3 edition for universal playback. So it'll work on iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, most modern audiobook players, also just on your computer. And it's DRM free, like I said, so you own your files. There's no proprietary apps required for it or anything like that. This is the version that will eventually be up on Audible, as well as Google Play and iBooks and Libby. It's taking a little while longer with those outlets. To be honest, that I'm not a part of that as like day to day, really. That's like Image is facilitating that right now. So we're hoping we'll know when that's going to actually hit those platforms in the next, week or so. We'll know in the next week or so when. So that's actually why you probably haven't seen us pushing the audiobook too much yet on social and YouTube and things like that, because we want to wait until it's available, in the widest, reach possible. Will and Ryder are incredibly kind and generous with the level of support that they are offering with the audiobook, and so don't be surprised if you hear a little plug or a little segment on it on an upcoming episode of Pod Meets World. But again, we're holding off until it's widely available everywhere. Now, you can buy it right now, like I said, from us, and you can buy that standard edition, the same that'll be on Audible and all these other platforms that, to be frank, we don't really make any money from. It's very, very small. Audible takes a massive, massive percentage. It's like, I think they actually take like 75%. But that's part of the reason, and the other reason is because I just love this stuff, that we built the deluxe edition. And so the deluxe edition is that same standard version, but it also includes an audio commentary track with myself and Michael. That's the only thing that is not released yet from the audiobook because Michael has been so sick. But we're going to record it and we'll send it out and update everyone's files just as soon as we're able to do that. But it does include right now in the package and everything that you buy a roundtable discussion with Will Friedle, Ryder Strong, myself, and Michael. An interview with Sam Ewing that we did, the composer of not only Radiant Black the audiobook, but the first 6 tracks for the first 6 issues of the comic that we did back in 2020. And this says a 25-minute video look inside one of my recording sessions with Will. The video is actually longer. I think it actually, when I cut it together, it ended up coming in around like 30 to 35 minutes. There was just too much stuff in the segment that I didn't want to lose. So we decided to make it longer for everybody. And plus we had taken a little extra time to get everything done. So I wanted to really make it feel worth everyone's while. As well as a behind the scenes collector's booklet that features enhanced liner notes, photography, and some other cool surprises. And we also included the script for the audiobook, a PDF of that. So that edition is available as well right now. I mean, you can literally buy it from our site. It's as easy as going through like this. I'm not going to go through this because I don't want my credit card number showing up on screen. But the files are sent to you immediately. They're accessible. You can download them, I think, like 5 times. And the whole experience has been honestly like pretty smooth. So we're gonna. Oh, Crows, what's up, Crows? Thanks for coming by. BRB buying. You've great taste, my friend. Great taste indeed. So the delivery, the rollout of it has been really smooth. I've been really happy with how we've been able to do it, integrating with our Shopify storefront. You can see what some of these other images look like here from the preview. I'm going to get a preview clip posted in the not too distant future as well. Yeah, it's been out for about a week now, and the responses have been really good, really positive, the ones that I've seen online. Our Discord server, the Black Market Discord, seems to have been enjoying it. Everyone there that's listened. So if you haven't checked it out yet, now's a great time. But also, you'll start seeing us promote it really hard when it's also available on some of those other platforms. Just so we're really kind of like, taking the most efficient swing possible. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put up here. If you go to radiant.black/audiobook, that's where you can pick it up right now from us. That is also where we will also have links to eventually the Libby and Audible, etc. versions on that this hub website as well. Okay. That's the audiobook. What else is going on? Well, as long as we're on the Black Market site here for a second, I am going to show off something else that we just released here today. And we did this drop through the we did this drop here. I'll go back to this through the Black Market newsletter. And so for those that don't know, no, it doesn't bring it up. I'll do it like this. So the drop today, which was announcing our Black Market Presents. Oh, that's so weird. It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Okay. This today's post in the Black Market newsletter, where we announced our Black Market Presents, hence the title, which we'll get to in a little bit here. We also did our big new drop for the massive edition Book 2 Black Market exclusive for Radiant Black. So for those that have followed along for, I guess probably a year and a half ago is when we put out Book 1. This is the same edition, the same hardcover that you will get in stores. But this version comes, we're only doing 150 of these sans APs, meaning like artist proofs, like comps, like some that like my personal collection, like stuff like that. There'll be extras potentially floating out there that aren't numbered. They'll be marked AP. But we're only doing 150 copies signed and numbered, along with a book plate signed and numbered by, book plate signed by Marcelo and myself. And this cover actually matches the Goni Montez cover that we did for Book 1. Goni, for those who have followed Power Rangers over the years, Goni is the brilliant cover artist that did all of the Power Ranger helmet covers. I think he still does them from time to time for Boom. And so when we kicked off Radiant Black, I asked Goni if he would be kind enough to come up with a helmet version of that motif for Radiant Black specifically. And so we did Radiant Black as the first massive edition, or the Black Market exclusive for the massive edition hardcover. And now for Book 2, we're doing Radiant Red. And so you can see this is actually what the book looks like here. Oh, wow, it's real big. Actually, I'm not going to zoom in. This is what the book, do like this. Yeah, that's kind of, we like that. That's kind of nice. There we go. So that's what the book, the main cover, standard cover looks like. And then we've got some cool shots in here. Just, I didn't want to spoil too much story-wise, so I kept it pretty limited for, interior pages and what that looks like. But you can see here, it's actually, this is the same image you saw painted on the side of the Blacklight experience at the party. Anyway, so like I said, these are going like really fast. I woke up to like a lot of them sold of the 150. So if you want to grab one, now is the time to do it. You can go to the Black Market shop. It's just shop.blackmarket.la and grab one there. Once they're gone, they're pretty much gone. And there is a link in this video as well in the show notes for it. And that product, I believe, is also tagged on this video. That brings up actually one other thing that is associated with it. Let's see if I can grab it here. So in one of the recommendations down here at the bottom, we decided not to do this as like an official package, but we did put this up specifically for packaging with the hardcover. We have the Radiant Black and White #1 edition that we just put out a few weeks ago. This is a black and white version of issue 1 of the comic, but I'm signing it in fluorescent ink, and that's kind of what the signature looks like there. I actually did that one last night so we could have it listed in time. But you can add that on to your order for like $20. I think you can actually, it looks like you can buy it on its own as well. So I wanted to make sure I flag that for everybody. If you grab one of those, there's a not insignificant chance that it might end up with some coloring on it from me, because as everyone who ever sees me do this knows at conventions, I really can't help myself, and it's like a lot of fun to like color in blacklight on comics. So I'm not promising that they're all gonna come like remarked or anything like that. Maybe one day I'll make that like an official option for a bit more money. But you know, there's a 0-sum chance that I will I'll be adding a little bit extra to it because I can't help myself. So yes, Radiant Platinum, the Radiant Black coloring book. Radiant Black coloring book when? No, that's actually not a terrible idea. Let me come back to you on that one. So anyway, so those are up in the store right now, and you can go check them out for yourselves. Okay, so that brings me to what else is coming out. So I've got 2 more little previews to show off. So Radiant Black issue number 40 just came out last week. Okay, so we've got this one here. Let me just slide that over there. Okay, one second. Okay, so issue 40 came out last week. This was a really cool one that we did with Joe Clark, myself, Marcelo, and Paulo dos Santos, who joined us, who I really want to get on a stream. I've still not met him, and he's doing some pages. He's working on issue 41 with Marcelo right now as well. So I definitely want to get him on a stream here with us pretty soon. That'd be a fun way to meet him for the first time, huh? Okay, killer cover by Daniel Bayliss, featuring Marshall Radiant Black and Mariposa, who is imprisoned, if you remember, based on the events of issue number 39, by the federal government, the Franklin Group, in a detention facility, a black site in Chicago, where there is absolutely no history of that sort of thing ever happening before, ever. We've got our B cover by Matt Taylor here. Part of the connecting set, this features who Kelly likes to refer to as Hot Green Guy, Shift himself. And our 1 in 20 Virgin C cover, also by Daniel Bayliss, just without any of the trade dressing. And for those who haven't picked it up, I'm just going to show off a little bit of those first couple pages here. This is a mirror to issue number 31, when we first see Marshall post the Catalyst War as Radiant Black again. And this is an homage for a reason. James CT. All right, Kyle, that was scary. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to laugh at the end or not. But there is a history of black sites in Chicago, the Home and Black site in particular. You can look that up and see. It was, the crazy thing is it actually took I think it was like the Telegraph in the UK that actually broke the news like 10 years ago. It wasn't even a US, much less a Chicago-based outlet that broke the story. I imagine a bunch of Chicago reporters were working it for some time, but just wild, especially someone from Chicago and the suburbs and everything, like that an international paper would break something like that and not somewhere locally in Chicago was always like, oh, that's a little interesting to me. Anyway, this is also, I think this is our first confirmation of Kieran. here that he is gay. He is post his Franklin group life, and he is having a time. So, of course, that is until Marshall completely steps on his groove as he is looking for any and all help and information in order to try to undo what Kieran's successors have implemented and turned the Franklin group into, as well as how they are continuing to kind of terrorize Chicago. So that's issue 40. We're wrapping up issue 41 right now. It's like about to go to the printer. It's another really strong one. We're continuing to push Marshall post the Catalyst War in terms of what he can be, what he can do, and hopefully what he will not become. And for me, that's just exploring character change and growth. Of course, not everyone does grow, though, and so that is the question here for Marshall: is there a ceiling on it, or will he be able to push through and find new platitudes of who he is as a person? Also coming out this week, in addition to the Massive Edition Book 2, we have Rogue Sun number 33. This is by Ryan Parrott, Nick Cotton, Abel, Bruno Frenda. We have a new colorist for this issue, and I'm blanking. Oh, you know what? I've got the issue right here. So let me see who this is. This is I should know this. This one is colored by Antonio Antro, who came to us through an Italian agent named Enzo that we work with quite a bit. Oh, I just realized that it's not showing the tab I wanted. Hold on, let me try that again. Pull that up. There we go. That's Rogue Sun. That's Rogue Sun 33. From Swampy. Was Mr. Poe... Oh, Owen's Reviews. Was Mr. Poe by any chance inspired by Pierre or any other of the cats in your lives? Oh, boy. Owen, you just stepped on a third rail and you don't even know it, buddy. Hey, Kel.
Yeah.
Do you want to come talk about... Mr. Handsome?
I do.
All right, everybody, say hi to the wonderful, lovely, beautiful Kelly McMahon. Sorry, it's my Chicago. McMahon. So, how do we tell this story? Mr. Poe is, for those who don't know, Mr. Poe is a cat. And I don't know if he's in these preview pages. Oh, he's not.
He's on the cover.
Is he on the cover?
Well, he was on the is he on the A?
No, because the A covers that.
Oh, okay. Might have been the previous one.
He's on the cover of the previous issue.
Yeah.
Mr. Poe is a cat, and yes, he is very much based on Pierre. Kelly has a nickname for Pierre that is...
Mr. Handsome.
You have to talk in the mic, babe.
Oh, do I write down?
You have to talk in the mic. It's like it's a mic. That's how it works. Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
I thought it would just pick up the surrounding sounds.
The surrounding sound. No. We're like premium sound stuff over here.
Great. My computer just has a microphone built into it.
We're gonna upgrade that.
So I call Pierre Mr. Handsome because he is, and I think that everybody needs to feel good about themselves. So Pierre is called Mr. Handsome. And Ryan came over and he heard me call the cat Mr. Handsome. And he said to me, I'm going to turn that into a character. And I was like, amazing, great. This is Pierre's moment. Like, Pierre needs this. This is great for Pierre.
For his confidence.
Yeah, we need it. He needs it for his confidence. And then James Gunn. James Gunn happened.
We love James Gunn,
No,
but...
we don't. We know we don't. James Gunn ruined my cat's life.
That's true, actually.
And when I meet him, I'm going to tell him.
Look, we did tell Pierre for quite some time. Is he listening?
Oh, he's
Okay.
got his back.
He's got his hold on, move the mic. Is he listening? Okay, shh, we'll keep it quiet. We did tell Pierre that he was going to be the villain of a comic book. And considering how much dad lap time he loses out to me writing comic books, he was excited. We'll put it that way. He was excited.
It's pretty chuffed.
And unfortunately, That all couldn't happen because of Superman. And specifically, there was one clip, and it was an
characters in it.
interview.
Oh yeah.
It was like one interview that James Gunn did talking about his favorite character in the movie, and it turned into a whole thing saying, "Oh, Mr. Handsome's my favorite character, Mr. Handsome." And and Ryan texted me. He was like, "We're changing the cat." I was like, "No."
I have to preface this. Ryan didn't text me about this. I was like, "Wow, that's when you know Ryan's scared."
Well, yeah. Yeah, Ryan, there's a zero-sum chance that Ryan is in the chat right now, but I don't see him. Oh, Kel, you're getting a lot of high Kels.
Hi guys. I do think the character design.
Okay, Bob. Okay, Bob. This is my cousin here. Blame the Chicago accent. You know what? I will, and I did. Hey, nice avatar though. I like that little bee.
Very cute. I think Stefano said that he was basing some of the cat when he was drawing the cat off him and Nicoletta's cats as well. So the cat on the cover is a little bit of a hybrid.
It's a hybrid
Emma
cat.
and,
Yeah.
Pierre.
Yeah. Okay. So that is, yes, you are right. Pierre was the basis for Mr. Handsome, or DC will sue you. Well, no, they won't actually. And you can't copyright a name or a title like that. It's just more like, I don't wanna. It's just it muddies it. There's no reason to do that. You know what I mean?
Or just then every time you bring up the character, all everyone says is like, "Oh, the character from DC."
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like then it's not even not ownable. It's just there's a comparison in a way to something that is being like projected universally versus something that's being projected like, you know, on a much smaller scale. So
right.
If you can avoid the comparison, you avoid the comparison.
Totally.
Even at the cost of Pierre's happiness.
At the cost of Pierre's happiness. You heard it here first, everyone. It's snack time for Pierre, though, so he's very happy. Okay, I'm going to get back. I'm going to get through this so we can eat. Everyone say bye, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly.
Guys! Let's say stay radiant. Is that
Oh, yeah.
why?
Baby, you're always radiant. That's the right answer, right?
Yep.
I can do this. Come on. Come on. I've been here before. Okay. So, do we want to see a little preview from issue 33 of Rogue Sun here? We can do that. All right. Maka says Radiant Kelly. We like the sound of that. Preview time, yes. It's Francis. Oh, hey, Francis. Thanks for joining. Great answer, Kyle. Not my first rodeo. But I haven't had too many rodeos, honey. Really.
Not on your knees.
Not on these knees. No. Rodeos are out. Okay. From Noah, will Ryan be joining sometime to talk Rogue Sun? He will. Ryan is incredibly busy these days. He might be busier than me. It's definitely neck and neck. But I can't talk about why he's so busy. I'll leave that for him. But yes, we want to get him back on, especially with issue 33 coming out in the very near future. Okay, but this was our A cover by Stefano Simeone, our B cover by Marco Licati, and this is part of the connecting set that is an homage to all of Jim Lee's X-Men covers, X-Men #1 covers from the early 90s. And then a Virgin 1 in 20 C cover, or maybe it's one, I think it's one, I'm not sure if it's 1 in 20, it might be 1 in 10, of Stefano's gorgeous A cover art here. And you can see, actually, this whole issue, oh no, it's not all. I thought this might be the issue drawn entirely by Bruno, but I don't think it is. I think Bruno and Abel split it. But you can see here just some really nice work to kick this off here by our new colorist. And this looks to be Hellbent, doesn't it? Making his return to the book. And the last time Hellbent was in Rogue Sun, some pretty bad things happened. And he killed one of Dylan's friends, or acquaintances, I should say, at the high school prom. So you better believe that this is gonna be a big one. So these are the first 4 pages here that were shown off, but this is in stores on Wednesday. Okay. All right. What else did I want to hit today before we take some questions? Oh,
Florida SuperCon and C2E2.
yes. That's in my list. I'll get to that at the end. Just talking about some upcoming conventions that we're going to be doing I'll be at Florida SuperCon in Orlando, not this weekend, but next weekend. And then I will follow that up. Florida SuperCon, Florida MegaCon, March 19th through the 22nd, and then C2E2 in Chicago from March 27th through the 29th. And we will actually have a Radiant Black and the Massiverse panel featuring myself and Joe Clark on Saturday, March 28th of C2E2 at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be, I don't think that's officially been like put out there yet by C2E2, but I'll make sure that all that information is pinned everywhere and also in the next newsletter release as well. So, okay. The last big thing that I wanted to hit today before I take some questions and everything was something that I referenced at the top of the stream tonight, which is that we just launched something that I'm really, really excited about. This is something that we've been kind of talking about for a while and have been working on behind the scenes and kind of really curating our creators that we wanted to reach out to for it. And what I'm talking about is actually a new section of the Black Market newsletter called Black Market Presents. And I'm going to share my screen here to show you what exactly that means. So these were the posts today. And if you see here, the tab, Black Market Presents, it's its own section of the newsletter. You're not going to get spammed if you're signed up for the newsletter. You're not going to get spammed with emails multiple times a week or anything like that, unless you want to get emails about the different sections. But the first story that we posted is then embedded into today's newsletter as a part of the overall newsletter experience. So like I said, you're not getting completely inundated all the time. If you do want to sign up for the specific Black Market section in each story, I'll just scroll to the bottom just so you can see it. We actually have a link here, subscribe to Black Market Presents, and that will actually bring you to your account settings where it shows you, it's not loading it for me here, but it actually shows you what sections you are subscribed to. And so you can actually subscribe to any others right there, including Black Market Presents. So what is Black Market Presents? Okay, so one of the things that I thought was really interesting that Substack tried to do back in 2020 when they came into the comic book space was the fact that they were really interested in doing digital comics in a new way. Back then, that meant, though, that most people were doing digital comics that became a part of the Substack grant the same way as kind of everyone else. And what I mean by that is they were doing traditional comic book pages just behind an email paywall. That's definitely a version of doing digital comics, and especially for like a newsletter, kind of platform, or even just service like Substack, like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're watching tonight or watching on YouTube, you may or may not know by this point that like I love not only immersion, but really playing to the strengths of the medium that I'm working in. And that includes the user or reader experience. So in this case, the reader experience of reading a newsletter, in my opinion, especially in the year 2026, like, let's be honest, right? We are all reading our emails and our newsletters on our phones most of the time, right? I am anyway. So what was interesting to me was building original stories that are built for the convenience of where you are also reading the publication that we're using to put them out, which is a phone. So it's a long-winded way of getting to Black Market Presents is a new curated, I don't want to say platform, but it's definitely initiatives, kind of the wrong word too. It's a curated kind of presentation of new creators who we're excited about, who we know, who we've been following for some time, or even just people we meet and we want to give kind of a platform to their work. It's harder and harder as a new creator to get your stuff out there, especially in a way that like can kind of permeate the noise, maybe, you know, gain some traction for you, etc. I'm not saying, sorry, I'm hitting my microphone. I'm not saying that like this newsletter is going to like pop anyone or anything like that, like career wise. But I do think it's a cool thing that's additive to all parties where we can use the newsletter as, you know, like I said, a platform to shine a light on certain creators and stories and things like that that like we're into. We can also use it as a way to kind of like gauge and test out like interest levels in different concepts and stories. And then for the creator and for you, the subscribers, it's also like it's new original stuff that is coming out hopefully weekly if once we start banking more and more of these. And again, it's coming right to your inbox. For the creators, as our newsletter continues to grow, it just makes the potential reach of inboxes that we are getting to and getting their stories out into that much bigger. And so we're at a pretty good number now. I mean, you can look and see like the public, how many people are ballpark are subscribed to a newsletter. So we're a tick under 7,000 subscribers right now, and we've got a really, really good open rate. So knock on wood, with luck and some messaging, we're really excited about being able to put some new stuff out there like this, and try to pay it forward a little bit, but also, like I said, like see what sticks and lands for people, because we do a lot of superhero comics, but we also do a lot of other things, and we're into a lot of other things. And so the first story that we went with is called Black Eye, which is by Rich Dowick, Nur Levy, and Buddy Boudin. And I apologize to all three of you because I'm sure I just mispronounced one aspect of each of your names. But this one is, I'm not going to go through all of it, but just so you can see, this is what the experience is like when you are reading it on your phone. So it's more in the kind of webtoon model of vertical scrolling comics, but it's also not in that age demographic that most webtoons are in. This is definitely a more kind of like a little Doctor Who, some sci-fi. It's definitely a little darker than what you might. It's just for a little bit, you know, an older skewing reader than you would typically see in like a webtoon. And because it's a different genre, it means the art, or sorry, it's a different demographic. It means the art can be, you know, radically different than what you would see on like a webtoon. But I just love the way that Nier uses the page space and the scrolling experience. I shouldn't say page space because it's specifically the scrolling experience to his storytelling benefit. And the way that you can see that even the additional design elements here, the way that like these birds, right? These birds are flying down. They are driving your eye as a reader down the scroll, and then leading you to the next word balloon, and then the next piece of art, and then that transitions you to the next one, etc. It's just a very elegant way of taking advantage of the medium and the experience to tell something really cool in a way that also allows you to hopefully showcase what makes the concept and the story idea have so much potential. So that's our first one. You can read it for yourself at newsletter.blackmarket.la. Like I said before, the plan right now is to have each story that we put out will be housed under the Black Market Presents section here in the newsletter. And then once a week, when we, well, I say once a week, but when we put out a new newsletter like today's newsletter, when you scroll to the bottom, well, we made a bigger bit of it to showcase the first couple slices of the story directly in this newsletter. But after the second slice, you'll see we actually have a link right there so that you can just go read the Black Eye story in full in that embedded section. And like I said, if you want to get a notification specifically for the individual stories as they drop, you can click the link at the bottom of the story that I was showing earlier, which is right here. Subscribe to Black Market Presents, and that will allow you to opt into this section. All right. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to specifically talk about in our kind of return here, and especially now being back on the StreamYard platform. This has gone very, very smooth tonight for me. We are always aiming to do these on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Being back using StreamYard is going to make it that much more reliable and easier to stick to that schedule. So hopefully this will just be the first of many more to come here. All right, I'm going to take some questions. I have not, unfortunately, been monitoring the chat too much as we've been going, as I've been doing this solo tonight. But I'm going to start scrolling back up and flagging some questions that I see in here. But if anybody has some new stuff, throw them in the chat, and I'll try to get to as many as I can in the next, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. All right. Okay. We're going to start, though, actually, JMCT13, who's one of our moderators in the Black Market Discord, had this to say: Black Eye really took me by surprise. I can't wait to see where the story goes. Me too. That's the other thing about this, though, in the Black Market Presents, is that these are designed to be finished stories. Now, could they turn into something bigger? Yes. And at the end of Black Eye, I think it's a satisfying little narrative that then ends with a, like, promise of there could be more to come, definitely more adventures. There's a poll that we included at the end of Black Eye asking, do you want to read more of Black Eye, or do you not want to read more of Black Eye? And don't worry, Rich and Near and Buddy, I'm not putting, those numbers aren't going to be public one way or another, but it's just nice, even just for kind of some rough napkin math for our side, just to see what the level of kind of interest is in a particular story, because some will lend themselves potentially to doing more of, either in this same format or maybe even, you know, something a little bigger or something in print. Like, it depends. So there definitely is going to be feedback potential there for us as we, you know, work to kind of try to determine other stuff we're gonna focus on in the future. Okay. And it's a 100% yes for JMCT13. We want more. That is great. I will mark that down in the poll over here. Okay. From Meloche, how's your knee? You know, it's still attached technically. It's not great, if I'm being honest. The weird thing is that, and I haven't even told Kelly this yet because she just got back from Emerald City. I can run with no pain. Now I'm not running because I don't have the confidence in the supporting muscles because I haven't run in 5 years because of the knee. But I've been jogging a little bit, you know, a block or two, that sort of thing. Zero pain. Walking is awful. It's awful. And it sounds like I need to get another MRI because it sounds like I'll probably need another surgery. But based on the symptoms, it's looking like the meniscus transplant that I had done as a part of the first cartilage transplant I had in 2022. That meniscus is catching. There's a lot of clicking in the back of the knee. It's quite uncomfortable. And it feels like having glass in your knee, kind of for every step. It really sucks. So, but thank you for asking. Okay, Mr. Higgins from Ball Nubby, have you ever thought of birthdays for any of the characters? I haven't actually. That's a really good. That's a fun question. No, I haven't. I'll have to give that some thought though. Okay. From Common Sense, that reminds me, Ordinary Gods was always planned to be 12 issues. Yes, it was. It was. There was the potential to do more volumes, for sure. But honestly, you know, between sales numbers and everything, we felt going into volume 2, like, this is probably let's put everything we have into this and like hit a really solid, satisfying, you know, story end. So we reworked some things that maybe we had thought about for other volumes, but it's the ending that we had always intended. Okay. From Optimal Mayo, is there any potential for other existing franchises to join the Massiverse? Not really. I mean, not in the sense that I think you're talking about. Like, yeah, it'd be tricky because if you're talking about like a big established property, like then it's a licensing thing, which means when we lose the license, we can't publish those characters, and you always end up losing the license. Everyone loses the license at some point, right? If it's a creator's own thing, it's tricky because it's like, well, how does that benefit them, and how does it benefit us? And do we really want to intermix the two in a way? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying never, but I can't think of a scenario offhand where that would make sense for everyone or be exciting for everyone, but maybe. That said, crossovers are definitely a possibility. Okay. Let's see here. What else do I have here? Okay. Bob, my cousin, says, I'm convinced you will forever have knee problems. I really love that vote of confidence, Bob. I appreciate that. Michael, don't run, Kyle. Don't worry. I won't. I think. We'll see. Okay. Hey, CJ. CJ writes stuff here. Writer for Adventures in Poor Taste, AIPT. I need to buy the audiobook. You do, my friend. Hit me up afterwards. And we will talk. I would love to hear what you think of it. Okay. From Common Sense, that is a question I want to ask Mac Room and Erica Diurso if they have a live stream about Inferno Girl Red. I'm not sure what that question was, but yes, we will have them on at some point here, I promise. Probably when the full collection for book 2 comes out. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Oh, you know what? Oh, I see one here from Owen's Reviews. Okay, this is actually a Teen Titans question, but I will answer this. Famously on Twitter, is it famous if I don't remember this, by the way? Famously on Twitter, you ranked Jason as your least favorite Robin. Has your writing him on Teen Titans swayed your opinion on the character? So just because a character is not your favorite character doesn't mean you can't write them, or doesn't mean you don't like them. This is it was so funny because I don't really even use Twitter anymore. I log in like once every couple days and I'll repost a few things. But when I logged in after the Teen Titans thing, I did see like people dug up a tweet that I guess I wrote back in 2017 answering the question to rank my favorite Robins from least to favorite. And Jason's my least favorite Robin. That's not a knock on Jason. I mean, I was born in 1985. He was dead when I was reading comics and growing up reading comics. Like, by the way, Dick Grayson's not my favorite Robin either. He's my all-time favorite character. He's my favorite Nightwing, but he's not my favorite Robin. Tim Drake's my favorite Robin. Why? Because that's what I grew up with. Like, Tim was my Robin. I read the entire Chuck Dixon run of Robin, like, monthly. I also like Damian a lot as Robin for different reasons. I like Jason as Red Hood. I like what he represents as Red Hood. There's so much potential there. You know, I think also, like, personally, for me, the best version of Red Hood is Red Hood who kills. I mean, what happened to Jason and the trauma that experience would put him through, and coming back from the dead, and also discovering that, like, Batman wouldn't break his rule even for him. I mean, the Under the Red Hood movie is amazing to me. Now, I haven't rewatched it in years, but that was always my favorite version of the character. And he's grown and evolved, of course, like, from that initial... well, the film is actually obviously an adaptation of the comic that Judd Winnick had written, but I personally felt like the film distilled things down in a way coming out of, like, the events that in the comic were a little convoluted as to how Jason came back. The film really distills it down, and I think that speech at the end that he gives to Batman is just, it's brilliant. So I think that, you know, I think he is a really, really fascinating character, and he's got obviously a really big fan base as well, and I get it. But I stand by the fact that he's my least favorite Robin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everyone has a favorite Robin. I mean, that's kind of the best part of this, right? But I promise you that I am treating Jason with respect, and I'm not taking away Jason's teeth. I'll put it that way. Okay? Okay. Oh, looks like we got a couple more questions here. Oops, wrong one. Marshall Ward should indeed meet Chief Keef. I don't know what that's a reference to. Okay. From Garzilla. Let's see here. Hello, Kyle. Been a fan of yours for a decade now. I bought the audiobook and I absolutely loved it. I'm sorry to hear about the fall of Ultraman. Did something happen with the fall of Ultraman that I don't know of? I hope Ultraman's okay. We wrote his fall, but you know, he'll be back one day. But thank you so much for your support. Okay. From Swampy MCG, Marshall School of Business trade paperback when? When we think the market could support that. That actually feels like a Marshall School of Business pitch. Okay. Yeah, Marshall Zine. Ooh, I like that, actually. Marshall School of Business zines. Michael, we could do that, right? Okay. From Common Sense. And you read Red Robin as well. Kyle, that comic is awesome. Of course I did. And actually, I quite like Fabian Nicieza's Red Robin with Marcus Toe. That was a really great era for me as a Robin fan. Okay. Any plans on introducing any new characters in the Massive Verse? You mean like with their own like original books, like we've done with our, you know, Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, Inferno Girl, Dead Lucky, etc. Not at the moment, but you know, we have ideas, and Michael and I in particular have some stuff that we want to find creators for at some point here. But right now, the focus is keeping Radiant Black and Rogue Sun as on time as humanly possible. Now that the audiobook is off my plate for Radiant Black, I have to turn in the No One screenplay rewrite in about a week and a half. So I am cranking on that. And then there's a whole bunch of other work for hire stuff that I'm doing at the moment. So our bandwidth is, you know, per usual, stretched, but also I want to, the next time we add a Massive Verse book, I want it to be a really, really big splash. And I think that raising general awareness on the back catalog and the characters in the universe, I mean, that's why we're doing streams like these. That's a really important component. And I think that since we've been around now for 5 years, for Radiant Black, 4 for the Massiveverse, we really need to we need to make and build our own market in order to actually make that viable to introduce new characters and books. Does that make sense? Like building the community, building the fandom, and also like spreading general awareness. That's why the audiobook is so exciting to us, because, you know, if Will and Ryder are kind enough to talk about it on Pod Meets World, that is a massive audience that suddenly becomes aware of Radiant Black in a way that a lot of them probably had never had. Radiant Black. They become aware of Radiant Black in a way that many of them probably were not, and that ends up being something where it's a rising rising tide raises all ships. In 10 minutes, Kel. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think that's actually probably a good place. Oh, let's see here. From Mason, too bad you can't get your own publishing studio. Well, that's not an issue, Mason. I mean, like, we could use more help for sure. But sorry, I keep trying to. The comments keep coming in, so it keeps jumping to the one below it. But we could certainly use the help that some resources would, provide us, and some more people to help for sure. But that doesn't change the fact that the market is the market, and I think that we're in a really good position in that we are publishing with, in my opinion, the best publisher in comics. We're able to do whatever we want, and we maintain ownership of everything we do. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And by the way, they're the third largest publisher in North America in comics, behind Marvel and DC. Image has like 10% market share. Like, for an independent company, that's huge. It's the only place that I feel and felt that we could launch. I could launch Radiant Black with Marcelo, and we could launch the Massiveverse, all of us together, and it would have a chance of succeeding in the market. And it has. But that doesn't mean that the market can support, 8, 9, 10 books from, a smaller publisher, much less a superhero line, if that makes sense. You see it all the time in comics and in the direct market in particular. How many companies come and go? How many small and mid-level publishers pop up, and they've got a bunch of VC money, and they're spending money, and they're putting out all these books, and then they're kind of gone. A lot of times it's because there's not really any demand for those books in the market. The market is the market, right? So we're very cognizant of that, and that's why everything from our back catalog to our collected editions to the audiobook to some other cool stuff that's in the works right now that is not specifically just traditional comics publishing, that's really important to me. And that's why a lot of my energy is going towards that with regards to the Massiveverse, because I love the direct market, but just living and dying by putting out monthly comics for these characters and these worlds and these properties is not a sustainable way to keep a universe going in 2026. Okay. I am actually going to leave it there. Dinner is almost done here, and I need to get these lights turned off and everything. So please hit like, subscribe on the channel, on the stream tonight. We'll have some more video stuff coming out in the coming weeks, but we'll be up for Massiveverse Live again, same time as right now, this coming Monday. And there'll be links, like I said, links in the show notes to all of the stuff we talked about tonight, including the Massive Edition Book 2, the Black Market exclusive, which they are going fast. We're not in single digits yet, but like we're getting pretty close. So definitely jump on that if it's something that you were interested in. And the Radiant Black audiobook. So until next week, thank you everybody. Same bat time, same bat channel, and stay radiant.